test. Check. Mic test. Mic test. 1, 2, check. Hello, hello. Welcome to our stream, folks. We are live again. Currently on Shadowcraft. Currently playing 4 ranked. Jumping from AA3 to Master. Hopefully this stream we'll try to see how far we get. We will be having a fun little experience for today. We dropped to Sapphire from Diamond, but it's okay. We are going to be climbing back up. This is the deck list that we are currently running as well. Let me just open our channels. Pop out the chat from YouTube and Twitch. All of the chats will be showing down there. That should be good to go. And then, aside from that, we will be able to connect with each other across all platforms. Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So it should be a fun little experience. Ooh. Let me just share the stream as well, and we should be good to go. Nice. All right. We have liftoff. AA3 Swordcraft is what we're running at the moment. Our list is composed of 2 drops, Ignominious Samurai, Seria, Prim, and Luminous Lance Trooper. Down here at the bottom, all 3 ofs, 2 Hounds of War, 3 Vols, 3 Rose as our 3 drops, 1 set of Zirconia as our 4 drops, 2 Luminous Maguses, and 3 Alberts as our 5 drops, but Albert doesn't really count as a 5 drop. He's more of a 9 drop. Amelia at 3, Gildaria at 3 for our 6 drops, 2 Olivias, 2 Odins, and 2 Amalias. And that is our deck list. And let's jump in. Playing against Abysscraft. They're currently on Master rank, so this should be fun. Let's throw away Odin and Amelia and call it there. Yep, we're live on all 3 platforms. We're just having a nice chill time, nice chill experience. Feel free to say hi. Feel free to just chill. Anything is okay. Let's have a look. Cool, we can drop Luminous Lance Trooper. They skipped turn 1. Which is making us think that they could be on mid-range. So this is making us think that they are on mid-range. That means they'll be having 9 drops and Cerberus instead of going for the highly aggressive build with Odins as the top end. Thinking of how we should play this. Our Gavi will be dropping at 5. On their 4 to 5, which means on our 4, we can go to 5 and drop Rose at that point. So I think we can just go for the aggressive lines here, swing in hard at face, and then stabilizing for later on. That's good. We saved Rose instead of the ghost swinging at us. Ooh. Okay, we've got a Rose on 3, nothing else. I don't think we want to skip here. So let's play it out. Trade there. And keep going for our aggro lines. We've got Albert on 5, which is not bad considering we've got multiples of him. So I think we could play it out. Ooh. They're going aggressive with the zombies. If we play out Albert and evolve, it's gonna go to 7, which means our Gavi can't clear it. 5 cost our Gavi. Thinking hard if that is our line. feels like it is, to be fair. Let's try it out. Let's see how aggressive we can get with these lines. We're gonna drop them down to 10, which is quite a nice, sweet little number. Then from the next turn, we can play out Amelia and drop a 3 cost at that point. Hopefully we draw into something with Amelia, but this is a lot of pressure for them to deal with. So we're going for the aggro line against an aggro deck, which is gonna be interesting. Hello, folks. Pasok lang ng pasok. We are live. Okay, they took the trade. That's good for us. But that is a wide board. Oof. We have no board wipes at the moment in hand. What we need is something like 3 cost, or this is okay, I guess. Ignominious is a rush unit, so that can deal with the 5. On 7, we've got Odin to start ending the game with. We also got Gildaria to clean up, so that's good. Let's evolve Amelia so that it becomes a 6/6. We are able to trade with that, and we are going to be okay from here. And then from this turn, we will be on 7. That's the point where we could potentially Odin into Albert. So that's going to be 6, 7 into 8. If they use their play point here, we're gonna Odin. If they don't, they could Cerberus anyway. So that is gonna be tricky. Ooh. Oof. That's a lot of units, folks. Gildaria should be able to clean up here, though, so we will be okay in that regard. 1, 2... Yep. We'll have to Super Evo here. And then take this trade. Swing there, deal 1 to the player, and then trade here. And then turn after that, we'll have Amalia to drop. And then we've got Albert afterwards. There's Cerberus, and I think that is going to be their last Super Evo. Or they just trade, keeping the Super Evo line. Okay. Interesting. Huh. What are we thinking about here? We couldn't end the game with Odin. We need one more turn to go for our Albert line. And we don't have the one more turn because of the pressure of this board. So I think our line here is Amalia. At the moment, Super Evoing Amalia. Trading there. And dealing with all of these. The problem here, though, is they're gonna heal back up. And it's gonna bring us to Odin range. Which I hope they do not have. If they do, it's lights out. If they don't, we're okay. They do have it. And it's 4 to life from this point. Oof. Exact C's problematic. We played against Master, so that's okay. That means we could compete against them. It is just tricky, where we didn't have any 2-drops. We had Rose. We had 2-drops, sorry, but we didn't have a way to control the board when they had the multiple 2/2s, the multiple zombie 2-drops, or was it 3 drops? But yeah, that's what we are trying to figure out at the moment. Dragoncraft is going to be an aggressive deck. So let's mulligan our slow units away. And we should be good from here. Luminous Lance Trooper. Back to back to back. Triple Luminous Lance Trooper. I think we should be dropping all of them now. And stabilizing immediately. Gonna trade. We drop another one and swing here. Or shoot for one. Thinking. Shooting for one means we get 2 damage on the board. A 2 damage unit on the board. So that might be better here. Being highly aggressive. Next turn, another Lance Trooper. Turn after that, Prim into Nonja. Looks good. Let's see. Nonja, Silent Maid. Chillin'. Why are they chillin' here? Ruby, okay. Ruby and 2 damage. Let me get familiar with their cards actually. What was that? Select an enemy follower on the field and deal it 2 damage. If you're in overflow, deal 4 damage instead. Okay, good to know. From here, let's re-establish board. Either swinging at life or trading here. Because we are the aggressor at the moment, there is an argument to go face.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Having a quick think. Are we gonna get punished if we swing here? I think we are. I think we want to keep the board state empty as much as possible, saving us that much needed HP. We don't have a lot of heals, and we're only on 20. So if they played this, 2 on one unit and 2 on the other unit, or 2 at face, we'd be stuck at that point. And from here we can play out a Lance Trooper again, take that trade, and play out Prim. And call it from there. Next turn we've got the Magus to have a wide board. Turn after that we've got Amelia. Looking good. 4 damage. Ooh, Zirconia is nice. Zirconia can evolve our units. Give us a wide board from here. And we'll be able to start applying pressure because we'll be able to deal with this 5-4. A Magus could as well. And a Magus could also leave us with 3/2/2 units that they'd have to answer. Thinking though, which feels better? I think the Magus feels better, to be fair. Having ward units early sounds good, and we will be able to trade with one of these on that, leaving us with the Magus still, plus a nice big swing there, and leaving us with 2/2/2 units. Next turn we can go for Zirconia. Is that a board wipe? Oof. Zirconia plus Nonja. If they keep wiping the board, we'll be dead, but I think that's one of their few board wipes. Their next board wipe is gonna be the Twilight Dragon on 9. So we've got 1 turn unless they have that card again. We will be able to generate a big attack at this point. Cool, so Olivia's gonna come down. And Super Evo. Okay, so what's happening is it's gonna be a stalemate at the moment. They're gonna clear our board, leaving them with 2 units, which we are gonna be clearing ourselves as well with Olivia.
Not all is lost.
So it is gonna be anyone's game still at this point. So let's play Olivia out. From here, we can save the ignominious samurai and play something else out first. Which I think... Oh no, we can't. We cannot. Because we need to reach for their lives. Prim can't. If we Super Evo Olivia, Prim's gonna be a 4-4. Which is not gonna be enough. Did you check Card Fight? How are you? Hello, hello. I'm good. I haven't been able to play at all because I went for a birthday party. I'll have a look at it today. Maybe this afternoon. I have seen it in Darksphere before, one of our local stores. But so I am a bit familiar with their art style and their player base. It's a lot of players, but yeah. As for checking out the rules itself, I haven't yet, but I will. Sounds interesting. Another question I forgot to ask is how's prize support for the game? Because that's another of my things that I think about as well. Like, are the prizings for these tournaments great? Are they well supported, or do you think they could be better? That's something I was curious about as well. Let's see. Odin could come down here, or Amelia into 2 cards. But I think Odin has a nice good time at this point. Then we can swing for 9 damage, and then we can end the turn here. Other option is to play out Prim, but I think we can live Prim out. I don't know tournament scenes, but should be a lot, especially in Japan. Ooh, interesting. Something to think about. And it's an anime as well, right? Like Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it is. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a very successful anime scene and card game scene. If you want to learn rules, you can watch the anime. That's good. That means they're respecting the rules of the game. Nice. I'll check it out. Sounds very interesting. I'll check out as well how support is for our local scene here. Why do they keep developing the board? Stop it. But yep, we'll take that trade, 100%. Amelia's gonna come down here. What we want at this point is something to deal with that. Watch Card Fight Vanguard Divine Season 1. We'll have a look. Thank you, thank you. So Amelia is gonna come down and give us 3 play points. At which point we will have enough to play Rose out as well. So I think we go for that line. That's gonna be 6, drawing us 2 cards. We drew a Gildaria. Quite solid, but let's save the Gildaria for when the board gets too uncontrollable. Let's play Rose out. Swing here. They're damaged already, so if the opposing follower is damaged, destroy it. And let's play Prim out. We're just waiting for Albert or Odin to show up, and we should be good to go from there. But until that happens, we are just going to be pacing ourselves. They don't have any more Super Evos or Evos. We just have to watch out for the 10 cost dragon that has Storm. All of their costs are halved now because they played out... What was that? Penny. Have the costs of all cards in your deck. So that's going to be scary. That wasn't halved because that was a card in hand. So it looks like they round up as well, because that was a 2-cost dragon set. Another one! So all cards are now 1/4. Odin is in hand as well. That looks good. Let's keep playing out Amelia's though, because we need to draw into Albert's to start ending the game. Or Gildaria as well. That is quite nice. Let's have a quick look. We can wipe the board with Gildaria or the Hounds of War. I'm just thinking which line feels better. Hound is not gonna leave us with anything. While a Gildaria is gonna pressure the board and at the same time force our opponent to play a sweeper instead of a storm unit. That could potentially end us, so I think that should be our line. Let's save this Prim as well to go double Nonja when we need to. A third Fenny! Their costs are 1/8 now of how they were before. So that's a 3 cost Twilight Dragon. Busted. Busted card. Odin can deal with that. But I think let's continue the pressure with Gildaria. That's gonna deal that amount of damage, and then we can play Prim out here. Get ourselves a Nonja. Have a wide board again, and force another board wipe. Board wipe, please. This might be a too aggressive Gildaria. What? Another one? They're digging for removals, I think, for a board wipe. Which they could. It's a 3 cost at this point. Do they have it or do they not? Come on. Come on. Sticky units for the win. Is there going to be a board wipe for a cause? I think we're chilling. Come on. Come on. Are they just going to burn their timer out? Oof, that's going to gain life. You have to go through our unit though. Oh, okay. Ooh, big turn for us. We will be able to clear this unit with Odin. 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oof. That's exactly not enough. So our line here is 14, 7, 8, 9, 7, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We could super evolve Prim to give all other allied followers +1/+1, but we're gonna drop them down to 1 life. So it's still not gonna be enough, which is rough. So I think we play out Odin here. Play out the Nonja just to get the Prim buff. We're not gonna save that play point anymore. So let's play out the Samurai. Take that trade and go for a nice solid swing here. And then let's end the turn and hopefully draw into Albert, which we had none of all game. Or... ooh, a sweeper. Okay. And that's the storm unit for 10. Ouch. And we still did not draw into Albert. We did draw into Amalia, sorry, which is quite nice. This is gonna clear the board. With the Samurai. So we are still good in that sense. Olivia, 1 cost Olivia. That is wild. That's gonna draw 2 cards that are gonna be 1 to 2 cost as well. So quite busted. Hopefully no more ways to deal with our board. Philan. Philan doesn't do anything. Oh, it does. Wow. Destroy all allied followers. They'll have Amalia here. Albert? No Albert still. Where's the Albert? We can still stabilize here by playing out Rose. Dealing 2 damage across the board. We dealt damage here and there. So let's take that swing. We can play out Luminous and get 2 defensive units or 1 hound. Thinking hard on what our line is here. I think we play out Luminous and we're forced to Super Evo here. Super Evoing one of our big thingies. Which I think is also gonna be the Magus here. We have to deal with board now at this point. Because if they play out the Storm Dragon, then we're dead. So we gotta do this and have these to pressure life. Playing around the Storm Dragon, not playing around the Sweeper in the end. Because we don't want to leave an opening. The dragon is still not gonna be enough at this point. But they might have it. Okay, the dragon will end us now if they have it. Okay. Neptune is in hand. Albert? Wow, no Albert. Never gonna draw Albert. Amalia is great here. It is gonna wipe the board. So let's continue the fight, leaving ourselves with 3 ones, ending the turn here. Longest game ever. Hopefully no sweepers. They're on top deck mode at this point, so it is gonna be whoever draws better. Philan. That's the whisper that destroys damaged units. Oof. We are gonna do a nice little cleanup in the form of the Hound of War. Ooh. We get Ward as well. Very nice. And we get Rush as well. So I think we should be playing out our units, swinging there. Swinging there as well, and ending the turn here. Are you able to wipe the board and deal with Amalia? A Twilight Dragon off the top would be busted. If not, we take the win. And we're going up from here. Looking good. That was such a grind. But we got there, folks. Very, very nice. Very nice. Let's see. We're playing on the mirror match, so let's throw away our 7 cost plus the Hound of War. Let's keep Vals and Rose and hopefully draw into 2 cost. No 2 cost. Could be a problem. Ending the turn. Oops. Yep. Nice game. Thank you, Ayang Yami. That was a nice game. It was tricky trying to figure out what lines they could play out. It is part of why I enjoy the game as well. Let's have a look here. We don't have much at the moment. And we'll need something to stabilize like a 5-cost Luminous Magus. Stop giving us 3 costs. Cool, let's stabilize here with first a Vals to remove that officer. They will be able to super evolve first, which means they could play out a Zirconia early if they wanted to. So hopefully they keep trading with our units, which they started to do. And we've got a Vals here to deal with Nonja. Nonja is powerful as a 3/3 as well, so let's deal with that and end the turn here. Let's see, do they go Zirconia? Zirconia is okay because we've got Rose to deal with it, plus whatever else we get. It's just the damage from Prim. That's the tricky part, really. Hound should be able to stabilize for us on the turn after this. So I think we start off with the Rose, draw into something. Okay, Lance Trooper is solid here. Let's swing there, play out the Lance Trooper at this point. And then from here we can evolve the Lance Trooper to deal with the unit, which I think is going to be Prim. And then let's end the turn from. Next turn we've got Gildaria Evolution to wipe the board up. Sure. If you want your Hound, you can have your Hound. As long as you keep trading, we're good. We're friends. And then from here, 2 options. First is the Hound. Second option is Zirconia. Let's have a quick think. I think the Hound might be better here. Hound into next turn Gildaria board wipe. That sounds solid. They wouldn't really have a way to deal with our Hounds unless they Super Evo or Evo a Gildaria themselves. Other line is Amelia. Draw into thingies. But I think the Hound is safer at the moment. So let's go for the Hound. Because they might be forced to Gildaria out here to deal with the board. Or play rush units like the Samurai or Rose themselves. Or their own Hounds. Olivia. That is a solid top deck. But we start with Amelia first. Why? Because we want to filter away Swordcraft followers. Gain the 3 play points back as well to develop something like, for example, a Zirconia here. And from here, we will have an extremely wide board that they are potentially forced to Gildaria into. We want them to spend Evo points on Gildaria. So that they don't have it for the free Super Evo turns. So let's deal with that. Leave them with a very wide board to deal with. Other line is we could have played out like a wide board ourselves and then Super Evo our Amelia to have barriers across the board, but that still gets wiped by a Gildaria. So we're trying to go for the cheaper route of using Evos instead of Super Evos, keeping our Super Evos for big swings. Forcing out Gildarias as well. Gildarias early are great because then they not have ways to deal with Amalia. Amalia is great as well. Leaves them with the same problem. We take an evolution as well. Very nice. Why? Because our Amalia is gonna do the same and leave them with the same problem as they had last turn. Deal with the board or get hit by trucks. Let's see. Gildaria's at 17 for us as well. Is there a way to check the rally count of the opponent? We're both at 17? Okay. That's good for us. That forces them a Super Evo on Gildaria. And then if we've got a way to deal with this without having to use our own Super Evo, that's going to be busted. Albert's great. Wipe the board up. Gildaria's on 70. 17. Amelia's going to bring it to 18. Are we forced to Super Evo here as well? We can handle the board with Odin too. But there's not really a follow-up here. We can gain life back with Olivia, giving us 5 play points back. Thinking a bit what our lines are. Huh. It's having the wide board that makes it tricky, to be honest. So I think we can play out an Albert here. Force a Super Evo at this point. Swing 6 at life. And deal with Gildaria ourselves. And end the turn here. Gildaria on Super Evo is going to dish out 1 damage. And another Albert is going to be able to wipe the board up. We want to maximize our Gildaria line, which we will be able to do next turn by playing 2 2-drops in the form of Prim and Seria. Or Prim Nonja into Gildaria. Saving our Super Evo. So that's free now, which we don't mind. We're still safe at 13. We can't be dealt with at this point. And then for us, let's establish board by playing Prim. Playing Nonja out, we'll have a ward unit. Gildaria is exactly gonna be on 20 rally, which means we are gonna be having a free Super Evo, free swings there, plus an attack here, bringing them down to 12. Now they have to deal with the board again, so they might be forced to use their last Super Evo here. Unless they have a third Gildaria. At which point, we couldn't do anything about that. 5 is not great. You can be defensive, I guess, and play ward units. And that's about it. Okay, that's a trade. 6. That's their last Super Evo, which we will happily take. That's gonna leave us with exactly 1 unit in hand. And that's bringing us to 11. But the good thing about our lines here are we can do the exact same thing to deal with their board, but also deal 4 damage to face, 5 damage to face. Thinking hard, is that our line? Or do we have other lines? I think we go for that line, to be honest. We'll be able to see as well what we draw from Olivia and go from there. A second Olivia. Hello, Luminous Magus, for all the defense. So I think from here we can go for the board clear. So let's go for that actually. Let's swing there. Let's Super Evo Olivia ourselves. That's going to give us with Olivia as a 7-7. Prim as a 4-4. Swing in 4 at life. Plus, we can play out our own Prim as well, just to have a wider board. And then from here, if they have no answers to this, we've got Odin on 4. Hopefully drawing into Albert on 9. We've got Olivia lines as well here. Third Gildaria. Must be nice. One more Gildaria, please. No Gildaria. But we have a Prim. We don't have a Prim as well. Painful. Quite painful indeed. Let's have a think. We can deal with that with Odin. But then what? What's our outs after that? Amelia can draw into Gildaria potentially. That could be a worthy check, to be honest. Balls is okay as well. To dish out 2 extra damage. How do we clear Gildaria though? That is the question. I guess we're forced to Odin out here. We gotta deal with that and the board. We're left with a 4-4 still. No Alberts, no Gildarias. We had 1, they've had 3. So we're just gonna keep on drawing cards with Olivia. Hoping that they don't have answers. Okay, Albert's here. That's not enough at this point. We need something else, to be honest. Thinking. We can start with a Luminous Lance Trooper. Why? Because we need to heal up and go back to 8 to be safe from the struggles. And then from here, we have nothing. We found Gildaria now, which means we die from an Albert at this point. Nothing. It's lights out, folks. Rough times ahead. Show me the Albert. Cool. It's the triple Gildaria diff. That was painful. We played our best. We tried to draw into the Gildarias as well. We forced them to Gildaria out once too, which was nice. Let's see. This is gonna be tricky. Havencraft has a lot of sticky units, which means we need to find ways to break through the lines. Ignominious is good to do in doing that, so there's value in keeping it in hand. For now, let's end the turn. There's an argument to force Prim out, but I think we are preferring to save that, to save those lines instead, and just go through the curve, since it is gonna be sticky anyway. From here, we can play out Vols, deal with this unit. And chill from here. If they have things to buff ward units, it's gonna be a problem. But I don't think they do. So let's take that trade. From here, we can go for a Luminous Magus at this point. Have an extremely wide board that they don't have a sweeper for just yet. And we turn Luminous Magus into a 3-5 as well. And start swinging at life. Their first board wipe is going to be on 6. Or this. Actually, they had this. I forgot they had Salefa, which deals 3. I was thinking of the holy thing. Holy vessel. Oof, I didn't realize they have that. Okay, good to know. Salefa. 5 cost, deal 3 to everyone. Let's clean up here. Deal 5 there, play out Nonja here, and end the turn. Next turn, we could potentially Olivia into a Super Evo. Ooh, this is nice. Sure, they evolve Wilbert, where if it dies from a last word, you summon 2 copies of Holy Cavalier, but if you wipe it out with Odin, you don't get the ward units. And that is gonna be great for us. And then from here, let's dodge the deal 3 to everyone by playing Odin out. Swinging 8 to life. And going from here. Aether is gonna provide a wide board. An extremely wide board. And we don't have Amalia at this point. We do have the samurais that we kept, which is important here. So I think we go for them to deal with this. To deal with something else as well. This has barrier, so I think we should be going for that. Let's remove the barrier. Bane goes through the barrier, which is quite nice. Didn't know that to be the in the beginning, but that was quite nice. And then from here, we could just end the turn, take the 4 damage hit at this point. Another line is to chip away, deal 1 damage to each. Have this unit that they need to deal with as well. Jean's gonna buff it up by plus. This Jean is solid, +2, +4, and you give that and deal 6 damage to everyone. Such a busted card. Gildaria's here though. That is gonna help us control the board state. We're forced to Super Evo, but we don't mind. And let's keep going for that passive swing with Gildaria, and then from here we can swing there and swing here as well, +7 to that thing. We can leave the Leia, at least they don't draw a card. We can't really do much about it. And if we emptied out Leia, if for example our board state wipes their board, they could just play out the Holy Vessel and wipe the board again. I think Havencraft is one of our truly rough matchups. Sure. Leia, that's their last Super Evo though. Are they just going face? With the Leia? Wow. Busted. Quite busted indeed. How should we deal with this board then? A few lines of play are play out Amalia here. Hope that they don't have a board wipe, because that's the most that we can do. Happy weekend, brother. Hello, hello, Vic. Welcome to the stream, brother. Kamusta? Let's clean up here, deal with that Super Evo'd Leia. And let's leave all of these for them to attack into. If they have the gene to wipe the board, then that's it. Can't really do much about that. Do they not have it? Are we chilling? Are they baiting us out? There's also an argument now to play the 3 cost that they have as a one of. The one that gives a crest. This thing. Grimnir. At the end of your turn, if there's a super evolved allied follower on the field, deal 2 damage to all enemy followers. It's quite solid in the sense that we have free super evos in the form of Gildaria. So if we've got those, then we can swipe at these for 2 damage at a time to just chip away at all of these defensive units. That might be the out against decks like these. It's also an extra board clear if we needed to wipe the board. So there is an argument for that. There's the vessel. Are you cleaning up? We'll take it. We will take the cleanup. Hopefully stabilizing at this point. Olivia is gonna draw us 2 cards. Drawing us a Hound. That is great. Hound can deal with that. We can play out a Prim as well here. They have no board wipes. That was a huge sign of weakness right there. So we need to develop an extremely wide board here. Start pressuring life. If we top deck an Albert and they just develop like small ward units, we could win out of nowhere. Salefa restores 3 life. Double Salefa. Sure. Let's draw 2 cards with Amelia. See what we get. 2 Serias. That is nice as well. 2 Serias can shoot twice for 2. We do just need 1. And let's trade. Dear Shimoni, if take card style with my exchange card, do I get another copy of the card? I believe no. Good question, but I don't think so. I think the card style is just a reskin of the card. You don't get a copy of the card itself. And then let's swing here. I think that looks good. Let's take that trade. And then from here, do we deal with this? Are we able to? I don't think we are. So let's just play out a Nonja here. And since we're assuming that they don't have board wipes, that's our play style now at this point. Let's just play all of our units out and hope that they don't draw into something like a Gene to clean up. Because we lose anyway, let's not play around it. And it's there. And we lose. Broken. Busted. Quite busted indeed. It does give us inspiration though. So let's try it out. As a one-of, I think that looks solid. So let's go for it. Hound is gonna go. And then from here, let's try that out and see if it's irrelevant. Where are you? Grimnir. Cool. As a one-off, just because of the crest. And then to max out our build, we either go for Odin or Amalia. Amalia, I think, helps because it buffs up our Gildaria. Plus, it's a pseudo board wipe as well. Which means for things that are like that, for experiences that are like that, having the extra Amalia is gonna clean up quite nicely. So we've got the Grimnir to test out, plus third Amalia to just clean up again and again. Having maximum board wipes. Throw away the Gildaria, keep everything else. It's the... We got it again. Great. Cool, let's go. Let's start. First off, let's end the turn. We've got a Prim line here. Prim into Nonja. Feels solid. Or if they have a board, we have Vals to deal with the board. We can also keep the Vals and start playing out the Vals on 6. It will depend on what their board state looks like. Ooh. Scary board state. And I think let's start with playing out our Nonjas and dealing with the units that are down here. Next turn, I think we can go for Prim into another Nonja again. Do you have a way to deal with our own Nonja? You do. Scary times. That's a Rose. That's quite powerful. And they could capitalize if we keep that on the board. So I think we have to deal with that with at least one Vals. And then from here we end the turn. Next turn we can Zirconia into a Super Evo if we wanted to. Like what they are doing at the moment. They're the first 2 Evo. So that's a bit tricky. Balls can clear that cleanly. Prim, we can evo to swing at one of the units, and I think that's not bad at all. We're trying to save our Gildarias and our Zirconias. But there's an argument to evolve Zirconia here. Thinking. I think we have to deal with the 6 for sure. That's a start. But I don't think we need to evolve. We could evolve if we wanted to and clean up the board quite nicely. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Now that I look at it, that's gonna empty their board and leave us with advantage of having a 4-1 unit in play. And then next turn we've got Prim into Zirconia, wipe the board and deal with whatever's on the board as well. Sure, we'll take that trade. This is gonna line up perfectly for... Hello? Do we just deal with that then? Did our line just change? I think it does. To be fair, what's gonna happen on the next turn? They're gonna be on 6. We could potentially force a Gildaria out though with our line because we're gonna have an extremely wide board. Either Vals to deal with this now or later on. I think let's save the Vals. Let's go for the extremely wide board while it's still early and there's no time for Amalia just yet. Deal with this, please. So maybe they hound here instead or something like that. But that's gonna leave them with an empty board state again, leaving us with a 2-2 to start chipping away at life. Gildaria is also ticking up slowly, which is nice. So we are incentivized to be targeting Zirconia again with our Super Evo this time. Come on, come on. No answers. No board wipes. Oof. Okay. They are gonna do an imperfect clean here, leaving us with Prim on the board. And we will be able to wipe them up as well. Huh. Thinking. Luminous Samurai into a Zirconia evolution is gonna give us a wide board, but nothing else after that. Thinking hard. How big is Gildaria? 9 at the moment. So this can clean up. Are we gonna play Albert then? Albert's not bad actually. Just as an extra attacker. So let's clean that up. Huh. Thinking. Thinking hard. If we deal with this, that's also not bad to be fair. Plus we apply a bit of pressure. Plus we force them to Amalia here using that extra play point that they have, which we can clean up with our own Gildaria. So that's nice. Solid top deck. Rose can deal with that. Zirconia as well though could. Gildaria's on 13, so quite far away from where we want her to be. How do we deal with this board? If we play Gildaria out, they'll have an answer for Gildaria. So that's gonna be a waste. Do we take the hit from Amalia? I don't think we should. So let's play out Rose, get something relevant, and start cleaning up the board without having to use one of our Super Evos while increasing Gildaria's count. Next turn, we've got Albert. That's a nice Super Evo target. If they have a wide board, we can wipe them up. Draw Prim, please. Nothing. We don't want her to draw a 0 cost that shoots like this. Are you still Diamond? We just dropped to Sapphire, sadly. Testing out builds. So I don't want to be stuck with the one build that got us to Diamond. I want to be exploring how the metagame shifts so that we are ahead at every point in the week. Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. Rather... Interesting. We've got a line to bring them down to 6. But that doesn't really do much. Unless we want to clear out Amelia as well. Thinking? If we Super Evo Zirconia, 7-2. Ooh, we've got a line. Wait. Evolve. Summon Super Evo Zirconia. Deal with that. Nothing else. So I think we play out Albert here. Bring them to 6. Call it a day from there. Or bring them to 12 actually. Plus the 1, 11. Call it from there. Yep. Dropped. Come on, no answers. Oof, that's painful. Gino is strong in dealing with the board, but does not have any defensive lines at all. Highest should be Master. Yes. No. Diamond is the highest group. So we were on the highest group. It's the ranking that we're trying to achieve, which everyone can be a master at some point, basically, if they just grind out the game. So let's play Amelia out here. What we get. Gildaria's on 17. We're still just not there. We're shy of making it there, sadly. So other line at this point is Rosé. And draw into something to deal with Geno. Bringing us to 18. 19 actually. So this is good. Seria. Perfect. Lucky hit. Let's Super Evo here to give barriers to everyone and deal with that. So now they have to clean the board up. Gildaria's on Super Evo range, and we are good to go. I think Shadowverse and Cardfight belong to the same company, because I saw Shadowverse ads on Cardfight, potentially. And is the art style the same? If I remember correctly, Cardfight has anime style artwork as well, right? They're still on 12 and on 2 Super Evos, while we have nothing left. We do have the barriers here, which should count for something, hopefully. Or was there an argument to keep the Super Evo away? Art style is similar, so yep, highly likely could be true. Is this going face, bringing us to 13? Still not enough to end us with an Albert. Ooh, nice. That's a solid line that our opponent just did. Gildaria's on 20 though. If we draw something like our new card, Grimnir, that would be perfect for the free Super Evos that Gildaria provides. Ooh, Amalia. Let's have a quick think. Can Amalia clear? Amalia can clear, to be fair, which is quite good. We can wipe the board, leave ourselves with an Amalia, and go from there. That looks solid and saves us our Gildaria as well. So let's start with a 3 here. Gonna leave us space for Nonja, which will have Ward, Bane, and Rush. Let's use that to swing into that. And then from here, we can wipe the board. And leave ourselves with 2 units for our opponent to deal with. 7, 5. We can't go Olivia into Gildaria. We can go Olivia into Zirconia. There's the Gildaria. Very good for us that they use it now. Bringing us to 13, sadly. Our own Amelia is great. That's gonna give us 7 play points to play out our own Gildaria here. Start cleaning up as well from our side. Where's Grimnir? Let's deal with that. We drew into an Amalia again, so that's gonna stabilize our board as well. We want them to use their last Super Evo, so we're forcing a white board state every time. They are dealing with every time as well. That's their second Gildaria. This is our first Gildaria. So we want to be drawing into more Gildarias, please. But this brought us to Albert range, sadly. Which we can't really use at the moment. Olivia's gonna draw us 2 cards. Gaining us life. Bringing us out of Albert range again. Can we clear with Amalia? We can. Potentially. Trade there. 1 there. 1 here. Yes. We can clear with Amalia. Play this out. Start clearing from here. And hope that they don't have Albert. Ugh. And they do, plus the Super Evo. Very solid. Very solid indeed. Where was Grimnir? We did not see Grimnir at all, sadly. So let's continue on and see how it works out for later on. We're testing Grimnir out. We removed the Hounds. We now have 3 Amalias, 2 Odins, 1 Grimnir. And we're trying to see how it works out. That's their second Gildaria though. So person with more Gildarias usually wins. If that's the case, is there an argument to keep our Gildarias in hand then? In the mirror match. That could be a valid argument, to be fair. Just because we want as many Gildarias as possible in the mirror to just keep wiping the board up. Okay, I'll try that line. Let's see if that works. Are we gonna level up? Dragoncraft, so it could be highly aggressive. Them passing on 1 means that they could be the mid-range build that's going for the dragons. Have a think. Prim is nice here. Being an ambush unit means they can't deal with Prim just yet. Dragon Sign, sure. Let's play Nonja out. Get that buff early on. That 3/3 unit looks quite good. Next turn, we've got Luminous into Seria. Very nice as well. What are you doing, buddy? Philen. There's also a play to get to 6 and start doing Val's lines. Ooh. Did you just play that and not swing into our unit? And are we not supposed to punish you from here? 2 ways of punishing is Seria into a Luminous and swing there. or Vals here. Valsing here means they still have to deal with the 3-3 at some point. Unless it's a board wipe. Thinking hard. I think keeping the Vals as an option is great. Plus, Seria is a bit weak in this matchup, so let's use it now to apply pressure against our opponent and start just dishing out a ton of damage. Next turn, if we have nothing, we have the Luminous into Val's line. Gildarius in hand. Where's Grimnir? Cool, Super Evo is just gonna give them a play point. Happily gonna take that trade as well. And from here we have no plays really other than a Vals to just have a wide board. Evoing is nice just to dish out a lot of damage here. We could play out a Vals or a Luminous. I think Luminous is weaker here. So let's play that out. Force a board wipe. If they don't have it, we end the game at this turn. If they do have a board wipe, we've got Vals to recapitalize. That's a big board wipe. Plus an evolution. Oof. That's a huge unit. We can deal with that, to be fair. Let's play out Amelia. And potentially drawing into an Ignominious or something else. But we do have Vals to deal 5 to that. Plus an evolution here. Thinking though on who to sacrifice. I think it's Vals. Being the weaker unit, let's throw that into the fire and end the turn. We have 2 Gildarias now in hand, which means if we Super Evo at any point, that is going to be quite solid. Sure. Have an extremely wide board. Ooh. That means we have to use our Super Evo, or at least one of them. Very easy solution to having this wide board from our opponent is play out Gildaria and swing at their tall unit with our Gildaria. Still bringing them to 12 life, which means an Albert is lights out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, board wipe is up, but we're on 8. We're safe now. We've got Amalia. We do have Rosé. Rosé might miss if we draw into a Prim. Amalia is a guaranteed wide board, guaranteed dragon clearer, plus forcing our opponent to spend resources to deal with a tall and wide, semi-wide board. Next is Gildaria's on 17. So Amalia is lining up quite nicely with our Gildaria lines. By cleaning up the board, creating Super Evo lines for our Gildaria. So it looks good.
Is this to be my legacy?
Okay. That play means we are forced to deal with a tall unit with something. I think Rosé is an easy answer here. Drawing into a Seria. Seria coming down, dealing 1. And if the opposing follower has any form of damage, 1 is damage. So let's clear that and have a wide board again for our opponent to deal with. And that brings Gildaria to a free Evo. Busted. Come on. Welcome to the stream, folks. I'm Ruthless Redge. I am playing Shadowverse at the moment. If you're enjoying our stream, hit that subscribe button in YouTube. Follow on Twitter. On where else? Facebook and Twitch. We're active in all of them. So happily gonna say hi in any of those platforms. Feel free to drop messages as well if you've got questions. We've got the free Super Evo from Gildaria. Gonna wipe the board again. And we have triple Gildaria for once. We're looking good. Ending the turn. Forcing a board wipe turn after turn is a lot of pressure for our opponent to deal with. So this is quite nice. Twilight Dragon. No problem at all. This is a 1-for-1. So I think let's take it. Let's save Gildaria for when there's a wide and tall board. Because Gildaria can deal with both. A wide board plus a tall board means our rush units can swing in plus the Gildaria. While Odin is only good if there's one unit in play. So let's deploy that early. Okay. We keep going up. We now drew into our Albert. Quite solid here. Thinking though how we can clean up here. Balls can deal with that. How do we deal with this though? Is the next question. We can play out the Samurai to deal with this. But I think we can safely start with an Olivia here. Draw into relevant cards. Let's see what we got. Zirconia and Amalia. Not the best. Can have something deal with this though in the form of Vals. That's nice. We can deal with the 2-2 with our Samurai as well. But do we have to? We just needed a board wipe, which we got Amalia for. I think leaving a 2-2 on the board is not bad, considering Ignominious can deal with a tall unit. So for example, if they play the dragon here, 10 cost Storm, we can end the game. Olivia to gain 2. Plus a Merman. Sure. Trade? Or face? Trade. Cool. We will take that. So now our two options are deal with the units now or establish a wide board again. They're still on 18 life. Let's save the Gildaria for things we can't live through and play out our Rose first. Drawing into something. That's quite solid. That pairs quite nicely with Amalia. Thinking though on what our line is here. Can also take this trade here. Leave this for Amalia next turn. And just use one of our other units that has a weak presence except for if we are not being threatened hard, which is Luminous Magus at this point. So the only way they can apply pressure is if they clear by playing a dragon or that, a Draconic Strike, which we don't mind. Because we can clear this board up with an Amalia. Or an Albert. Or a Gildaria. But I think we should start with an Amalia here. So this can deal with that. This can dish out 3 damage here. And then we can play out the Luminous Lance Trooper. At this point, the one we saved last game. Or last turn. To start applying pressure again. Huh. Are you gonna have an answer to this in your 6 cards in hand? That doesn't work, right? Philen adds the White Frost that destroys all damaged enemy followers or increases the cost. Irrelevant. Then are you gonna use the White Frost? Sure, that's a 1-for-1. You will take that exchange. Plus, we now have a big swing from Albert here. Albert's gonna clean up which we could play out. We still have 2 more Alberts in our deck. Deal 6 damage to face. Apply some form of pressure because they'll have to deal with this Albert as well. Then we can go from here. Golden Note Melt. This is such a grindy game though. Odin is gonna bring us to 12. Which we have an answer for. Hello! Glad to see you made it. So let's play Vals out as an ambush unit and a Zirconia out, forcing board wipes if they have it. So this would have been a Hound. Plus one of our other Amalias would have been a Hound. Wow, that's a perfect trade. Plus a call of the Majorca twice. Okay. Albert? No Albert. Let's play out Amelia here and draw a card. Let's see what we get. We got double Albert. So 1 Albert too much, but I think there's an argument to play 1 out because we could die to the dragon with Storm if we don't clear these units. Other option is Grimnir here. Get our crest. And then that means Albert's able to wipe out the board better if we wanted to. But let's play 1 out actually here. Let's deal with that. And then for the other one, we can play out the Samurai. I wanted to save the Samurai, to be honest. But I think the Storm Dragon deals 10 damage face. And it's a 10 cost, I think, if I remember correctly. So that is something we are trying to avoid with this line. Odin again. Are you going face? He is. Okay, it looks like they're trying to end the game. Which means that having Grimnir with Ward is great. If they're trying to reach us with 10 damage. It's a 10 cost as well. Which is even better. So I think our line here is force a board wipe. Well, actually, we can just play out Amelia here. 6? No, we can't. Let's play out Grimnir here. And Gildaria as well. Wait. 12. Oh. I could have won. 6. Yeah. This would have been 12 damage to face. Yeah. Could have won there. Misplayed. My fault. I'm sorry. Oh wait, no. Oh, this was not super evoed, so this only attacks once. Yeah. I almost forgot that we can attack 2 times per turn is only as the enhance and not part of the evolution. It's only Storm. That's its only ability. Great. Not punished, not a misplay. Everything was according to plan. And we won! The grindiest Dragoncraft game ever. Grimnir's busted. Not really. Well, having Ward actually made it matter, I think. If they had the Storm Dragon, it's lights out for us. So in that sense, if that was any other Ward unit, it would be equally safe. Which doesn't say much for the card. We want it early. It's a 1 of those, so we'll barely have it early. Abysscraft. Okay, we don't have time for any of these. Abysscraft is either aggro or mid-range. And if it is aggro, we want to be as quick as possible in establishing board. No unit, please. No units. That's a big unit. That is a big-ass unit on turn 2. No answer for this unit at the moment. No answer for that unit as well, sadly. They're on 14 life because they keep taking the hits. Let's hopefully stabilize with our 3 costs. So here, there's an argument, like, for example, if this Amalia was a hound, would this have been a different story altogether? That's the thing that we're trying to weigh every time we see cards that we changed. Zirconia. This can deal with something. Vals can deal with this. Whenever an allied bat enters the field, give it storm and deal 1 damage to your leader. Do they have more bats? They have 1 bat. So I think let's deal with this bat. Hope they don't have another bat and start pressuring their life from here. See, there are more bats. That's a problem. It's a lot of bats, and all of them have storm, which means we should have dealt with this then, instead of slowly going down. GLC Games, Buddy Bear, thank you. Justin Henson, welcome to the stream, kapatid. Rose, hopefully drawing us into a unit that can wipe the board. This can deal with that. This can deal with 2. We're gonna leave him with 1 bat. That is bad. But I think that's our only out. That they don't have fast answers anymore. Deal with this. Will they have more bats? I think that was bats for all day now. Gonna get a bat, but not just yet. And that has storm. And that's gonna bring us down to 1. Can we survive with 1 life? Anything super evoed is lights out. So I think it is lights out for us. So for example, if that Amalia was a Grimnir, a second Grimnir, that could have been a taunt unit for us. Does that mean triple Amalia is too much? That's the question marks that we are weighing whenever we see one of our tweaked cards. No problem at all though. Good XP still for us. Throw away, throw away, throw away. Too many Amalias in our opening hands. Not enough 2-drops, but we're maxed out on 2-drops at the moment. There's nothing else. We do have a play on 2 though. Rose or Vals, depending on what the board looks like. So here, we don't have fairies just yet. The question of Vals or Rose, I think Vals is the play here. Vals is the weaker card because Rose can deal with fairies, with 1-cost fairies, and get us more cards to deal with those fairies. So I think Rose is our line. Sure, ambushing from above. We're gonna play out a Rose and trade here if we have nothing else. This is not good enough, sadly. It's gonna deal 1 damage to 2 random enemy followers, so let's deal with that. And the next turn, we've got Zirconia into an evolution. They don't have cards in hand. They keep playing units, which means Glade is not gonna be cleaning up, which is good for us. Sure, that's your second card that can deal with tall units. Means you don't really have answers anymore for tall unit. Deal with that and end the turn here. 5 cards in hand. If they play out a Glade, draws 2. Evolving, dealing damage equal to the number of cards is 6. Means we actually keep these two with a Glade play. Glade can swing once. Or we just keep all of them if they don't have any answers to this board. Healing 3. Still not enough. Cool. We'll take that trade. Ooh, they're not done. Using an Evo here. Okay. That's the case. And you're chilling with no cards in hand. We are gonna keep applying the pressure. I don't think they have Bane units, right? So let's just apply a ton of pressure with a tall unit here. Force them to take trades. We've got the Odin line for next turn. Or Olivia. Olivia's a nice solid line as well. Because Olivia is technically 4 damage and a 2 life gain play. If we wanted to. Maybe should have traded there then. If they'll have those lines. Roach. Sure. Happily gonna see a 2/2 Roach anytime. Scary little thing. Are they just using it to deal with our Albert? We will take it. Happily. Ooh, Amelia is nice. We're just maintaining card advantage while they have bare anything at the moment. Balls can deal with that. Seria I think is better. Just deal that 1 extra bit of damage. Let's end the turn here. Turn after that, we've got Olivia to gain back the 2 life we lost. They have their own Olivia as well. That means they're highly likely going to be super evoing to clean up here. That's the third one. That's the third 1/3 unit. They keep cleaning up. We are still okay though. We can potentially end the game by playing out Odin now, dealing with 1 and swinging at life for 7. Do we lose from here? Can we lose at 8 play points with our opponent only on 4 cards? The question. Or is the play to just stabilize? I think the play is to just stabilize here. So let's go with Olivia. Draw 2 cards. Play something out. 4, 5. That means we'll have to use our play point to play out Vals and deal 5 to something. Super Evo both of our units and deal with the board and go from here. They already have barely any cards to deal with our board earlier on, so now I don't think they'll have a proper board wipe here. Sure, that does nothing. That does nothing as well. That also does nothing, and I think it's game. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What you doing, buddy? Poom, 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 win. Got there. Grimnir has been irrelevant.
You reap what you sow.
Quite irrelevant. Abysscraft, okay. Going second, much better than before.
With rain comes death.
Ooh, Luminous Magus could be good. We're going second though. So it might be too slow for us. Although it's solid in stabilizing. Could be a keep, to be fair. Let's test it out. We are the control to the aggro build. the aggro to the mid-range build. But this is good nonetheless. 1-1, sure. Let's end the turn. Because we have a nice serial line anyway, if they have a wide board at this point, for example, if they play another one, we've got an answer. Here we don't really have an answer except to take the 3 damage hit. We can play a Seria to deal with that. They get a bat. Or we can play Rose out now to deal with this. Keep them on 1. But our Luminous Magus is going to be a turn later. A turn too late. Maybe not too late, but just a turn later. And I think that is worth it to save us the 3 damage hit from that unit. If they do it again, we don't really have much to work on. See what your game plan is, buddy. Lilith. And the Lilith again. Add a bat to hand. This is add a ghost to hand. This is a board wipe no matter what. So that's going to deal with 2 units. Leave them with 1. Looking good. Next turn we've got Prim into Luminous or Prim into the Ward unit, Nonja. Keeping our Luminous Lance Trooper for later on. We've got lines here. Do they leave us with a 2-1 or do they wipe the board up? Let's see. What is that? Balto. This one creates the crest that deals 1 damage to both leaders. Cool. Let's clean up here. Let's play the Luminous Lance Trooper plus Prim. That's gonna wipe the board. 3-4 into the 1-1. Our own 1-1 into the 3-1. That is a nice little trade. And then we are chilling at 17 life at the moment. If they play out an Argavi here, gonna wipe the board. If they evolve it, we've got a Rose line to go for. So we've got lines. Not the worst. See what our opponent's game plan is. A wide little board. That's a bat with Storm as well. That means they're trying to go for the aggro line here, which I think we're okay with, to be honest. We have our own answers as well. We've got Luminous Magus too. Luminous Magus can clear the board, actually. This is busted. Why? Because all of our units will have Rush. All of our officers, at the very least, will have Rush. So these have Rush. Means we can clear that. And we can pressure as well. Plus, clean up here. Do we want our Luminous Magus tall? Or do we want this? I think we want our Luminous Magus tall, so that we have the flex option. Like, if these survive like a board wipe, then we're good. That's dealing 1 to everything. You're starting to use your bats to clear the board, then we're good. They're not, though. They're continuing to go at life. Huh. Thinking is not as stable as I want it to be board state wise. We want to draw into the unit that can shoot things up. Yes, that one. Perfect. I don't know how that lined up, but it did. So we'll take it. And then here, we can end the turn. If they decide to go for an Odin line here, we've got Amalia to generate all of these steel-clad knights. Oof. They are going for all of these big plays. We're down to 4. Can they clear is the question. Huh. What are we thinking about? We are thinking about, can we end the game? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nope, we can't. We can't end the game with Albert. Can we survive next turn if that was a storm unit? Not really. So I think our line is to have an extremely wide board that hopefully they can't deal with. Let's make it even harder for them to deal with this wide board. The 6-5. I'll incentivize you to Odin this thing. No! That's deal 3. Oof. Had no way to gain life. Exactly to 0. Well, painful. What is happening? What is happening, folks? We're getting exact seeds out by these things. Good afternoon, Lods. Naalala ko yung kapanahunan ng Axie game mo, thinking nag-quit na rin ako sa Axie. Same. I am in a hiatus. I still have all of my assets, kapatid, but I haven't explored the game because I'm still checking out whether or not other games are gonna be more effective for us, like Shadowverse, like playing classic Web 2 games, which is technically kind of where we started. We started with Magic, to be fair. But I just want to see where it goes, ba. Let's end the turn here. Playing out Prim is solid. Pact of the Beast Princess. So it looks like they're on an amulet build, which we can contest with our Nonja. Let's try to be as aggressive as we can, ending the turn here. Vols to deal with the unit. That's a 4-4, but that's a trade if you don't have an answer to our 3-3, which we will happily take. Then let's play out another unit and swing at life. If they have an answer here again, we've got our Luminous Magus line. A lot of cards in hand. Hey, are you gonna evolve? We'll take that. They're gonna be a 3-4, which is gonna be perfect for our Luminous Magus line here. Evolving one of our knights to deal 4 damage to the Apollo. Gonna be a wide board for us. Pumping up Gildaria as well. Quite solid. We've not seen Grimnir at all. That is a board wipe, sadly. Although this is also a nice little clear, plus a 4-3 with ambush for them to deal with. Into an Odin that can apply a lot of pressure. Are you going for something like a Wilbert? Go for it. Wilbert Super Evo. I dare you. Agnes. Storm. This is nice. This is perfection. Why? Because if you play that, you gain 2 life back, and it deals exactly the same amount of damage as what Odin would do. Because Odin would deal 4, plus we're gonna be dealing 4 as well. 1 from Olivia, and an extra 3 from this. Plus leaving us with all of these units. Should we play out one of these and force the Holy Vessel thing? Nabenta ko na ang lahat ng Axis, 200 plus for $2 to $5 lang. Medyo sayang kasi mabilis ang benta dahil nag-aral ako ng Forex trading. Mas stressful pala ang Forex. That's true. That is true indeed. It is also lucrative ba? Because that's the classic day traders, diba? And we've seen success stories in that regard as well. Let's see. I think we play out Seria and force our opponent to play the Vassal. Holy Vassal. We want them... Unholy Vessel. That was so wrong from Holy Vassal. We want them to just keep cleaning the board up while we're getting to the Albert turn. So from here, we can go for the Odin play. And deal 6 damage to the face. If they have a tall ward unit, we've got another Odin. If they've got a wide board but small board, we've got the Albert line. So I think we go for Odin plus an evolution here to deal 6 damage to face. So Olivia made this line happen. Yep. And Odin from their side means it's lights out. We're taking 7, but that's the game, buddy. Whatever your build is, it did not work against us. Don't even need to use that last Super Evo. Looking good. Still having that irrelevant Grimnir in hand though. Are we going back to the Hound then? Portalcraft. This should be fun. It's anyone's game.
With rain comes death.
We have much to discuss.
We're going second, so I think Zirconia's a keep here. An evolution on Zirconia means we wipe the board up. Plus generate our own board. We're also having a feel... We are also having a feel on what they're on. Either puppets or hybrid or artifact. So not artifact. Could be hybrid. Let's clear this up with our samurai. Let's clear the next thing up with Vals or Rose.
I'll be your mentor.
Depends on what we see. Amelia, hello. If we play Vals out, they're gonna use the puppet to deal with this, which I think is not the worst, considering we don't want to be destroyed by multiple puppets in hand with 2 ones. So I think that's the line. Next turn, we've got the Zirconia into evolution line to deal with whatever they're gonna put down now. Cool. That's perfect for us.
The Lord Commander dawns
Zirconia Evolution gives us a 4/4, a 6/4, and 2/2/2s that our opponent will have to deal with. Next turn, we've got Amelia into 3 cost, potentially Rose. It's looking good. Ruby-chan. Bildao as well. That's an Evo to deal with our 6/4.
My star is the star of paradise. Not all is lost.
Although we've got good stuff in hand. Either Gildaria, they're not going to be able to Super Evo yet, which is perfect for us actually. This means we'll have a wide board that they can't really deal with for at least one turn. So another Fildao is how they deal with this. Gonna leave them with 2 units to pressure their life though. Which I don't think they will be too happy about. Are you thinking hard?
Remain calm. It will be over soon.
There is another Fildao.
This might hurt.
Strong.
My star is the star of paradise. Not all is lost.
That's gonna deal with 1. We are gonna be left with 1 though, which we could potentially capitalize with. Thinking of what our line is at this point. Amelia into Rose is not the worst. It also draws us into Albert. And Olivia here is gonna leave them with 1 unit. So it's not the best as well. So I think Amelia is our line here. Into a Gildaria. We can play out the Rose here. Deal with the Fildao.
Rest to you.
Either swing 2 a life or leave this here.
Over my dead body.
I think we trade here. Let's force a Super Evo from our opponent's side in the form of Orcus to deal with this. They're running out of cards as well, which is good for us. And hopefully we still draw into Albert's. If they have 1 tall unit in play, we've got the Olivia line to deal with them. Gildaria is on 10 rally. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh, okay. Dealt with the board. Let's play out the Rose, get something relevant. Great, that is quite relevant. Let's play that out and deal with this. And re-establish board again. Prim or Luminous Lance Trooper. Let's play out the Luminous actually here. We have 1 more to pair with our Magus as well. So that's good. Noah. Noah generates 3 puppets. Plus a Lancer. Okay. Sure. That is a board wipe. Ooh. Leaving us with 1. Leaving us with 1 is interesting. I think we can pressure quite nicely. We can play out the Lance Trooper. Deal 1 there. Play out Vals, deal 5 here, and that's gonna have ambush and will be a 4-3 as well, which means they won't be able to deal with that unless it's a board wipe. And then that's gonna line up quite nicely with our Orcus play. Sure, we will take that Super Evo now. We'll be taking a few hits, but Olivia is gonna help a lot to counteract whatever this is. Because we gain 2 life back. That is a lot of hits though. Not gonna lie. We're still on 1 with Vals. Quite huge indeed. So let's go for the Olivia Super Evo line. Drawing into something hopefully. Something relevant. We drew a Grimnir. And Gildaria's on 18. Thinking hard. Wait, we don't have an answer to Orcus. This is gonna become a 7 with our Olivia line, which means we will have to play Prim out and go for the Nonja Super Evo line. I wanted to Super Evo this thing to deal damage to life, but I think we are forced to clear these instead. And we have a 6-6 in play still that they have no answer for at the moment. Ooh, Grimnir into Gildaria is irrelevant again. Unless they have a tall board. An Albert top deck would be nice. To just end the game. Hello, hello. Welcome to our stream, folks. We're streaming on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Facebook. We're live on all of them. If you're enjoying our stream, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Very much appreciated. You will be alerted for the next time we go live again. Plus, the same goes for Twitch and Facebook as well. We are just playing a nice competitive game of Shadowverse on a daily basis at the moment. At least, we used to be streaming different games before. Axie Infinity was one of those. What's going on? Cool. We've got a nice little line here of playing Grimnir out and using our free Super Evo line for Gildaria to trigger our crest, right? At the end of your turn, we've got a Super Evolved follower to deal 2 damage across the board. And that means we don't... That's irrelevant again, because we're just gonna swing here. And that was the 2 damage. So, he's been irrelevant. What you doing, buddy? Not gonna do much. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's end the game. Busted setup. Boom. We got there, folks. We got there indeed. 2-match win streak. Currently on AA3. Was on Diamond. Dropped to Sapphire. Currently testing Grimnir out. So far been irrelevant. But so far been fun nonetheless. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button. It is gonna... I don't know what that does actually. But if I remember correctly, it means the algorithm is gonna improve. And you're gonna you'll be seeing more of us as we go live. My turn. We're playing against Runecraft. Quite scary, but handleable. Quite handleable. Right, from here, let's play something out. I think we could start off with a Prim here. Prim is nice. Nice and chill. Next turn, we go for the Nonja and have a 3-3 that they'll also have to deal with. Best case scenario is for them is Stormy Blast on this. Worst case, they don't have an answer. And they start taking hits to the face, which is good for us. So let's play that out. We could swing one here as well already. Because as Runecraft before, I used to play Runecraft, you don't really have an answer except for 2-drop units and Stormy Blast. So if you don't have any of those, this is gonna be big attacks. Let's just play our units on curve. There is gonna be an Anangrea that comes out here to stabilize for them. But that's not really gonna stabilize them that much as long as we've got answers, which we currently do in the form of Seria plus Vals to deal with both of these units. And it's lining up quite nicely for us. Vals does 5 damage here. And let's start the Evo line and apply pressure for a bit here. There's no Earth Sigils as well, which is great. So our hand is lining up quite nicely. Second Anangrea. That's the tricky part now. We can deal with one, but not the second one. Second one is establishing them a wide board, although Luminous Magus is a huge top deck. Because we are going to be able to stabilize here if we have some form of protection against the 6 attack hits that Anangrea brings to the table, which we do. So let's end the turn here, and then next turn we've got Odin. Turn after that we've got Amelia into a 4-drop, and then the turn after that we've got Albert on 9. Are you super evoing here? Sure. That's gonna be tricky. We're on 9. How are we on 9? How did it go so badly in the end? The second Anangrea was lights out for us, I think. We've got the samurais to deal with the board. Aside from the 2 samurais, we don't have much. Even with an Evo line, we couldn't deal with anything because of the unsummoning that was there. So I think our current line is a Luminous Magus here. I think that's our line. With a super evoed out Knight to have 5 as its stat line. Take note though that we could also potentially just end the game next turn, in the next few turns. So let's play out the samurai and deal with Kuon, leaving them with this kind of board. We have a lot of ward units, so if they have something like a William to clear, we're dead. If they do not... What was that? What mode did they activate? It wasn't life gain. This is perfect. This, folks, is perfect for us. We've got the Odin line to remove that. Plus an evolution to deal 6 damage to life. They're left at 9. We have Albert into our own Super Evo to end the game. That's not gonna be enough. Dimension Climb is gonna be strong though. Into what? Into life gain again, sure. Burgent. It's not enough unless you Super Evo here. And if you do, that's your last Super Evo gone. I Are we and them still alive? Let's see. 6 brings us down to 5. We'll be able to play out the rosé. Thinking hard on what our line is. Albert brings their life down to 1. But 1 is not 0. Amelia into a rosé is not the worst. We can also just start with a rosé, see what we get. Prim, sure. At which point we can clean up here, leave ourselves with a solid board. We just need the 1 damage. That's what we need, to deal 1 damage, and Albert can just end the game. So that's what we are trying to achieve at the moment. Virgin, that's irrelevant. Let's go for it, and I think we won. That's the 1 life we needed, folks. And this is the 12 extra life that we are gonna use to end the game, and we got there. Boom. Victorious against Runecraft. That is our 3rd match win streak, currently on Sapphire. Hopefully when we go live again, we will be on Diamond next. Let's go back to the drawing board and still think about Grimnir. That's what we are currently focused at. Are we going to keep Grimnir? Are we going to go back to the Hounds and go down on 1 Amalia? But so far the deck has been impressive. It's gotten us a 13-game win streak and has brought us to AA3 in the span of 2 days from AA1. So this is a busted build for us. We are going to be chilling for now. We'll be playing pickleball actually. And we're scheduled for 12 o'clock. It is 11:48 here at the moment. So we've got 12 minutes. We are going to be heading off. That is us for now. I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. This is a regular thing for us. It's going to be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Monday to Friday UK time. And then during the weekends, totally random depending on what time we wake up. But I think it is going to be around 10 a.m. because we are trying to be consistent as well. So that is going to be our time slots live on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Subscribe, follow, and like on all of these platforms if you want to be alerted. We are going to check out Kick as well based on Atahanaidin's suggestion. So we'll see to that as well. Yep, we'll be live again for tomorrow. In life, stay kind, but in Shadowverse PvP, stay ruthless. We are going to be heading off.